Well, welcome everybody. Dave Stevens here, back in Connecticut after a long stretch at the Super Bowl in Arizona with my co host Troy Geary, who is now back in Minnesota with another snowstorm pounding them. I'm here in Connecticut where we're expected to get some snow, but Troy, I kind of wish today, these are the days we wish we were back in Arizona, even though it was a little cold, right?
Yeah, definitely. 20 some inches in the cities. Up where I live, about a foot. So, not looking forward to that.
But what an amazing 2 week stretch that we had in Minnesota. In Arizona. Sorry about that. But let's get right to our guest. And I'm so excited that we have the opportunity to have Jamal Shango James is joining us. And Jamal, it's great to see you. It's been a while, but if our folks don't know who you are a former welterweight champion in the WBA, and COVID came and we kind of got sidetracked. You got married, you had a kid, and we don't want to call it a comeback, but you got a big fight this Saturday at the Armory in Minnesota. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, man, I'm ready, man. It's time to get back to work. Like you said, I got married, got a kid, got the house now, now the bills is coming. Time to get back to work. But I've been itching to get in the ring anyway. Happy to be able to get back in the ring here at home at the Armory, in front of my fans. And, the training camp went extremely well. So now it's just time to go out there and have fun, man.
And you talked about, like, you had your championship match, and then kind of COVID came. You didn't get to like get back in the ring for a while. I mean, what is it like for a boxer who that's your job to do? You kind of had this hiatus, and again, we talked about this amazing gift that you had in a son getting married. But how tough is it to then have that stretch and now go back in and be who you were?
I think it depends on the fighter. For me, this is something I've been doing since I was a kid. So it's just been a part of my life, training and being in training camps and fighting. So it wasn't that tough for me. I think it was, it took slightly an adjustment just getting back into the rhythm of things. You know what I mean? Since I was off so long, but once we got back in the rhythm, then everything just fell right back into place.
And that's been great to see. You in the ring. Getting back to the Shango that we saw and the Shango Nation following you and a big being a big part of that. How big have the fans responded to you knowing that you're going to be back and fighting in your hometown?
Oh man, in a huge way, man. I got some of the greatest fans. They showed a lot of love, Even when I took the loss, I had a lot of people hitting me up, still supporting and just telling me to keep my head up and get back in the game. So I've been told that the tickets is dang near sold out, and it's gonna be a packed house, which I'm glad to hear. And now it's time to give a show.
How did you get your start in boxing? You've been doing this since you're young, or did it come later in life?
Now I've been doing this since I was young, man. My mother actually brought me down to the circle of discipline when I was like around 5. Um, and she just wanted, at a really early age, she just wanted to make sure that I had kind of a place to channel my temper, because I was one of those little kids who had a temper. And we, get mad about little silly things and stuff like that. But boxing, definitely teaches you to humble yourself no matter what age you are, So I started, training when I was 5. Then I started competing in amateur boxing when I was 8. And then it just took on a life of itself, man. Turned professional in 2009. Now it's 2023.
You talk about 2023 and getting back in the ring and training, and we got some footage of you working out. I mean, how different is your approach to training now that your body's a little older? You have to think about your recovery time a little more. So how has that transition been for you getting back into the gym?
My body's older? Nah, it's been cool, man. We've been blessed to have this new facility. And, since uh, I've been, since my career went so well and it's still gonna go so well, I've had a lot of people, you know, kind of help me as far as like doctors and like recuperation, wellness centers and stuff like that. I got a lot of hookups, so I don't have a problem. Getting massages when I need it, getting any type of therapy for any little, if I mess around and jolt a muscle or something like that, I can get that looked at right away. So it's been a blessing. Um, so my repair and recuperation has been good, but the training in itself has just been phenomenal. I feel still very strong, still very much in my prime. Definitely monitoring it as age, keeps going up and up.
Yeah,
But
you're pretty much been battle tested. I watched some of your fights. How do you take a punch and can you maintain your focus and your composure, and kind of shake it off and just keep going?
we got a saying you don't get mad, you get even. So you get hit, boom, I take a shot, and I'm so okay, I owe you for that. In my mind, I owe you for that one, and I'm gonna pay you back tenfold. So you just gotta have that. It's a warrior's mentality. You gotta have that will. You can't. They're there to try to hit you, and if they do hit you, you can't let it scare you. You can't be thinking about, oh no, that's what you in the ring. You in the ring to hit them, and if you get hit, then you just got to make sure you pay them back for that.
And Jamal, you foreshadowed this. You said there's a storm coming, and now there's literally a storm that's been coming that's kind of keeping you from the press conference, and we're kind of sliding everything up, right, man?
That's the Shango, man, the Shango Nation, man. It's funny because almost every time I fought at home, I think only one time have I fought at home at the Armory, and there wasn't some type of storm. Every time I fought here, except for once, I say, the storm's coming, as I'm getting ready. And then there'll be a snowstorm or some type of thunderstorm or something the day before or the day of the fight, um, which is crazy. You know what I mean? But, that's what I bring.
And hopefully that storm is going to be in the ring with both of your fists. We got the weigh-in that's official on Friday, I believe, at Marquette Avenue, Minneapolis, and then you got this big one on Showtime at the Armory on Saturday. I mean, I know you don't get a lot, you don't show a lot of outside emotion, but inside, it's got to be awesome for you to get back home and get out and have that almost that home court advantage as a boxer in the ring.
Oh, yeah, most definitely, man. It feels good to be able to break. Like you said, I've been off for a while, so it feels good to be able to get back in the ring, especially being able to do it at home in front of my crowd, in front of my fans. Um, and just go out. In my mind, I'm gonna go out here and give a spectacular show, get this victory, and then get right back on the road to getting the title back or multiple titles.
Now that you're dad, now does that change your perspective on how long you want to do this, or worry about things happening and for your son?
It gives me a different type of drive. Now that I'm a dad, I want to make sure that I'm able to provide uh, the things that I wish I would have had when I was a kid, or even more. And I just, any man just wants to be a good provider for his family. You know what I mean? And I'm in a unique position where I'm still, in my prime and high enough in my boxing career where I'm able to do that for him and for my wife and for the rest of my family as long as I handle my business. So, with that burning in my mind, it pushes me when I'm training. It pushes me in the fight. So, it's another next level of fuel for me.
And Jamal is taking on Alberto Palmetta this Saturday night on Showtime. I know I'm going to be watching it. Troy will watch it. Rob Lear, our mutual friend, will be watching it. But your challenge this time is he's a lefty, he's a southpaw. So how do you train differently when you're, normally when you're sparring? I mean, can you pick up a lefty sparring partner? How do you create these kind of things so you in your mind are ready to go?
Yeah, I fought southpaws before, man. I fought plenty of southpaws. I actually kind of like fighting southpaws because they line up perfectly for right hands and left hooks. You know, um, you definitely got to watch out for their right hook though. It's just everything is just opposite. So if you're used to moving to the right, you got to move to your left. And then you got to make sure you got your left hand up a little higher because they like to wing those right hooks. And you got to make sure you don't get too lined up with their straight left hands and stuff. It's just But those are all, those are all basics you learn as you start boxing, you know. So I've been doing this for a while. I fought many southpaws. I feel confident.
I got to ask you, would you rather change Selim's diaper or take a punch in a spar? I mean, because again, as a new dad, I remember those little shaky things and stuff I didn't want to deal with. So tell us about how fatherhood has changed you. It seems like you are more happy, and you and Marlee are you got a wonderful opportunity in life that you're fighting. Your son is, I don't know if he's going to be at the ring with that, but he's not old enough to be aware of what's going on. But how's it changed you?
It's been a huge blessing, man. And I tell people, I was able to have a kid at a point in my life where I was ready for it too. You know what I mean? I was financially set. I was married. I had a house and a home for the kid, so I didn't have a lot of worries. Whether I was, I felt confident that I wasn't gonna mess it up too much. You know what I mean? I think it's always, at least from what I'm told, it's always kind of nerve wracking and scary when you're having your first child because it's new to you. Just and it's new to me still, but it's been a blessing because I've been able to do it comfortably without having to worry about if I got enough money for milk or for diapers or if for this or that. And then I've had a great village around me too. I mean, both of my parents and my wife's parents, they're extremely excited to have a grandkid, a grandson, so they're always helping us if we ever need help. Um, so yeah, it's been fun, man. It's been fun.
As we watch a little bit of one of your victories earlier, I gotta say, hey, so what does the future hold for you? You get this victory under your belt, and you get back out there. So does this catapult you to a championship in the next 6 to 8 to 10 months? Like, what is Jamal's future after the victory Saturday night?
Man, God willing, it does. I think it definitely catapults my name back in there. Since I've been off so long, sometimes people slowly forget, that that I'm one of these top guys. You know what I mean? So I think it'll definitely remind people and refresh their memory that I'm a force to be reckoned with at the welterweight division. And then, after I go in here and handle business, I hope that it'll, get me back in there, with somebody with a bigger name. Not looking past this guy at all, but God willing, it goes how I intended to go. Then I want to get back in there and
Well, we
get
wish you
back
the
on the
best
road.
of luck. I know there's a few tickets still available, and again, if you don't have Showtime, go grab that so at least they can see you. How is Shango Nation receptive to? We don't want to call it a comeback. This is not a comeback because you never really went away. So, what's that love and support been like for you out there for all your fans and followers?
They just happy to see me back in the ring, man. They've been, blowing my social medias up, and they've been coming down to the gym, some of them, and just showing a lot of love, and it's been amazing. It's been amazing, So I'm gonna go out here and give them the show that they asked for,
And
Um,
before I let you go, I'm not gonna. I mean, I know you're very humble about it, but Circle of Change has been a big part of your life. We've showcased you what you do with the young youth in the areas and everything that we went through. I want to congratulate you and talk a little bit about how important from where you came from to what you're doing for these kids and in that program.
yeah, man, the circle of discipline been around for a long time, and it's really helped mold me to who I am. So one of our biggest mottos down there is to always give back, and that's my whole thing, So just like they helped me and kind of mold me and mentored me, I'm able to give that blessing back to some of these kids that come down there, and I'm able to kind of do it from a very unique standpoint because I have, kind of social status because of my boxing career and my boxing platform. So I'm able to, they're able to see me fight on TV and at the armory and stuff, and then they're able to be so close to me. It kind of inspires them to not be afraid of their dreams and to really go for whatever they want to go for. And outside of boxing, the circle just is all about community and all about just uplifting people, through.
I got one more question before we let you go. I know you gotta get ready probably soon to fly into Minneapolis, but how do you have an entrance music that you like, or do you change it up on different fights?
I got a mix. My guy Reggie is like an older brother. My older brother's in my corner. AD Adonis Frazier. They kind of hook it up for me. I kind of tell them like the song I'm thinking of, but then they put and mix this whole intro together, and then and then the song starts after they got this whole intro that they do. But to be honest, man, I don't think too hard about that stuff. Once I'm in fight mode, that's all I'm thinking about is preparing and fighting. As you can see, forgive my background, but we're just resting, letting the energy build now before we get in the ring and act a fool.
Hey, you got to take the rest, especially if you're on diaper duty or any of those kind of things, bottle duty, and all that. But
Yeah,
Jamal, again, thanks for taking some time with us. We're so excited to see you back in the ring at the Showtime Championship Boxing. It's this weekend in Minneapolis at the Armory. If you can't get there, then get it on Showtime and make sure you love and support what Jamal Shango James is doing. So thank you for taking the time with us, brother. We'll be watching and we'll check in with you a little bit later after of course you get that victory in the ring.
sounds good. Appreciate you guys. Thanks a lot.
All
All
right, thanks,
right,
Jamal.
that's Jamal Shango James joining us, and how cool is that, Troy? I know we've got a little bit of football and baseball and stuff at the Super Bowl, but I guess we're going to get back on the road to all sports and all entertainment and all those kind of things.
Yeah, it's good to get other sports besides the considered the major sports. Hockey, we had some hockey players, now our first boxers, so that's exciting.
Yeah, we had the MMA guys at the Super Bowl, and again, don't forget if you want to watch us on your home TV, don't forget to follow us on both of the platforms. Your home TV. You get to watch us on streaming services and check past episodes and all the people that we've had as we try to compile all the stuff that we had at the Super Bowl. So again, yourhometv.com is where we are. You can see us, you can watch us, you can join us. And I appreciate my buddy Jason Master there watching Linda Cohn and Lee Steinberg and all the people that we had at the Super Bowl again with our amazing support. Yourhometv.com. And I got to say one more thing. Don't forget, don't forget Fresh Clean Threads. I'm wearing them. I got this really beautiful white shirt on, but don't forget to go to freshcleanthreads.com. Type in the show code GSS Show for 20% off. Yeah, you missed out of our Super Bowl 25% off. And I'm sorry, but I'm still wearing these wonderful clothes. I love them. I love the coats. I love our sponsors. And I want to thank everybody again for the support that we had at the Super Bowl. And Troy, what was your biggest memory, your takeaway from this year's Super Bowl of us working together?
Well, besides the NFL honors, it was actually your camp. Just seeing those kids' faces light up, going through drills and having a great time was something to always remember.
Yeah, it really was, and I'm excited to get back in the saddle, Troy. And it was so great to see a lot of cool things and do a lot of cool things together. And that's what we're going to be doing all year long on the Geary, Stein and Stevens show. Some surprises down the road, but don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms. As we said, Your Home TV. Thank you to Pro Stance who sponsors the camps, Fresh Clean Threads, and our other followers and watchers on the Disability Channel. So that's going to wrap it up for this little live mini edition with Troy and I again. Don't forget to support us at freshcleanthreads.com. Type in that show code GSS Show. And of course, you get wonderful looking clothes. So, all right, Troy, that's going to wrap it up here from Connecticut and Europe and Duluth. And thank you for making it home.
All right, Dave, we'll talk to you later.
All right, everybody. That's a wrap. Dave Stevens, Troy Geary. I don't know where in the world Will is, but that's another episode of Geary, Stein, and Stevens. Don't stop loving us. Peace out.